Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ami. I am a family and psychiatric nurse practitioner. On this channel, I make videos about nursing, I talk about mental health, I do hair tutorial videos. If these are topics that you're interested in, please consider subscribing and join the family. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about my PMHNP board exam. So what are the resources that I use? And I took the exam and I passed for the first time, for the first try. So I'm super grateful and I'm excited, and I'm hoping that if someone is able to use these resources, they're extremely cheap compared to other resources that are available, and hopefully these tips are able to help you pass your board exams. Okay. So I finished up my PMHNP program. This is a postmaster's back in December, and I took my boards and I passed for the first time. So with the first trial. So one of the resources that I use is this book that I purchased earlier on in my when I entered the program. So this is the Nursing Certificate Review Manual, Continuing Education Resources. So it's the Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner review book. It's the 4th edition. I think they make it in a 5th edition, but I just ended up buying the 4th one because it pretty much had the same materials on there. I believe there may be some updates on the new one, but again, I buy the used book, and I purchased it right at the beginning of the when I started the program, and it does a really good job summarizing the information for me. Even when I was going through the program, whenever I have an exam, I just go on a particular chapter and it summarizes it very well. And it has like 100 questions at the back of the book. So it was only about like $45. Again, I got it from like Amazon. And guys, when I tell you I really use this book, I wrote all over it. So it was pretty helpful. And I even plan on, moving forward as, from time to time, going back and just reviewing some of those materials, because it does a really good job and it's extremely cheap. So another resource that I used that was very, very helpful, as you guys know, when you're talking about taking a board exam, it's going to be about questions. So you need to know how to answer the questions. So I downloaded an app called PMHNP Prep. It's just an app that has a bunch of questions. I think it has about 800 questions, and it does an extremely good job with, like, you are able to pick which section you want to focus on. Is it psychotherapy? Is it questions about pharmacology? Is it questions about different policies and things like that? So it was very, very helpful. And one of the things that I love about this app is that it gives you rationale for the wrong and the right answers. So you're not just learning about why this answer is right, but you're also learning about why it's the wrong answers are the wrong answers. And it gives you detailed information about, like, let's say, for example, if you are answering a question about different forms of therapy, and let's say if it's the question is about cognitive behavioral therapy, will give you why it is the right answer, but also give you information about other types of therapies as well. So you're actually learning how to answer the questions, but also learning how to learning some of those materials on topics that you may not be, familiar with, or topics that you have read previously when you're going through the program, but have forgotten about, which a lot of the times this happens. But it was an excellent resources for me. And when that particular app, I purchased it early on in the semester as well, and I used it throughout the semester. Let's say if I have an exam and it mostly focuses on pharmacology, psychotropic medication. So I was able to go on there and just keep doing questions, and you're able to set them in a way where you do 10, and then they can show you the rationales as you go, or you can time yourself, or you can do 100 at a time. So it was very, very helpful, and it's something that you can just pull up. And most people are on their phones anyways. So most of the time, instead of me like spending time watching YouTube videos, I would just go through that app and just start answering questions. There was another resource that I use as well, but I didn't think it was very much helpful to me, was in the Ancc. So for the Psychiatric Nurse Practitioner program, or for the boards, you have to take the exam through the Ancc. So for from the family board exam, you have 2 options. With this one, with the psych, you only have 1 option. So I went under the website for the Ancc's website, and they did have a prep course that you can take, and that one was $125. and they have about 175 questions, excuse me. So it has like 3 or 4 different modules, and then you can go on there, answer those questions, and then at the end it kind of gives you the same questions again. So it was a total of 175 questions. For that one, it gave me the rationale for the right answer, but not so much for the wrong answers. So I didn't really think that it was very much helpful, and it was a little bit more pricey. But when you're kind of getting to the end and you are getting closer to taking your exam, you get super nervous and you're just thinking, okay, what other resources I can use? That was one thing that I added to it. It was okay, but I didn't find it to be extremely helpful with boards. So again, those are the 2 main resources. Honestly, it's the PMHNP Pocket Prep questions that you can use. You can get over 800 questions, and it was really, really nice. Honestly, between that one and the book, they were super helpful, and I was able to pass my board exam with the first try. Granted, when I was going through the board exams, it was one of those things where you're like going through the questions, like, okay, so how am I going to study for this when I fail? So it was like, that was one of those things that was going through my mind when I was taking the questions, because again, you're taking the questions. It's not like one that you're gonna be like, yeah, this is the right answer, this is right. It's 9 times out of 10 is not that way. You're like, okay, I think this is this answer. This is the closest answer to, based on my knowledge and based on the question that they're asking me. So it was very nerve-wracking, guys, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, I was able to do okay and pass my boards the first time. And then also when I was comparing it to my FNP boards, I remember I took a certification a course or review course that cost over $500. And I think that was the Margaret Fitzgerald course that I took. This was a few years back, and it was an in-person. I really didn't feel as though it helped me much, honestly, guys. So this time around, I was just like, okay, first of all, I'm already tapped out on finances, and I've already spent almost 20K on this postmaster's degree. So I was like, whatever it is that I can use that will cost me less money, that's what I utilized. So it was this book that cost about $45-ish, and this was a used book, and then that prep app that I was talking about. So I hope this video is helpful, guys. And if you are have any more questions about boards, or I make other videos on this channel that talked about just my journey with my PMHNP degree. And I hope that this will motivate someone and give you hope that you can do it. And it's crazy because going back and watching those videos, I'm like, oh my God, it has been a very, very stressful journey. But now it's over, and I'm excited. And anyone that's in school, I want to just encourage you that keep hanging in there, whether it's nursing school or any other type of schooling that you're doing. You can do it. The time is gonna go by regardless, so why not spend that time doing something, and that gives you something to look forward to. So, and again, I hope this video is helpful. Until next time, guys, stay positive, be kind to one another, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye, guys.